This SUV TV broadcast of Holiday Hoopsgiving is brought to you by Adidas, 7 Group, Atlanta Hawks, Dribble Bridge, and CBA Sports.
We welcome you inside of Holy Innocents High School. Joel Hilsman, Mark Edwards, glad that you're with us. The final game in the 2019 Holiday Hoopsgiving. It is between the Berkmar Patriots out of Gwinnett County, Georgia, and the Pebblebrook Falcons out of Cobb County, Georgia. Mark Berkmar, a lot of noise, a lot of talk about this basketball team. They're off to a 1-5 start after a 19-9 finish last season.
A lot of new faces on the roster. I think it's a matter of getting the coach to, get these guys to buy into the culture that he's trying to teach them. He's trying to teach them how to play a certain way. A lot of these guys play on the same AAU program and so forth. So, it's kind of, you got to unbrainwash them. You got to teach them to play our style of basketball. And it's a really good coach over there. Really good coach, really good coaching job, really good program. So, I mean, I think it's going to take them till January to really figure it out. And I think that's just in time for their region play.
Starting lineups first for the Berkmar Patriots. They are the representative road team. It'll be number 1, Elijah Wood, a 6'5 sophomore. Number 2, Jeremiah Hill, a 6'3 sophomore. Number 11, Duke Clayton, a 6'5 sophomore. Number 12, Dara Olenad, a 6'4 junior. And number 23, Jalen DeRoche, a 6'9 senior. Wood, Hill, Clayton, Olenade, and DeLoach, the starting 5 for the Berkmar Patriots. On the flip side, George Washington in his 8th year with Pebblebrook. They come in struggling on a 2-game losing streak and a 1-4 record. Their starting lineup will be number 3, Blake Hadley, a 6'8 junior. Number 5, Jamal Kleiss, a 6'6 junior. Number 10, the scorer and the shooter, Danny Stubbs Jr., a 6-foot junior. And number 14, Caleb Washington, a 6'7 junior. Number 24, Tyler Shirley, a 6'6 junior. It will be Hadley, Kleiss, Stubbs, Washington, and Shirley for the Pebblebrook Falcons. Your outlook on Pebblebrook so far, struggling out of the gate, 1-4 on the season.
Pebblebrook is a pretty young team. When you think about, they've got some high-ranking players on the team and so forth, but these guys didn't play a big prominent role, in Pebblebrook's season last year. So these guys as well, George is going to have a good time, getting these guys acclimated to his system the way he wants to play it. So, I mean, it's going to take time. These are 2 young teams trying to find themselves. So, I mean, this should be an interesting game. Hopefully it's a high-scoring game.
But the pieces are there because Kleiss, Stubbs, Washington, and Shirley all got major minutes throughout the season. The tip is won by Berkmar as you view it moving right to left with the red tops, white numbers, and they've got the navy trim. Pebblebrook all in white tops, white bottoms, crimson numbers with black trim. We didn't even get 10 minutes in between games. Cross court tried to throw it up high for Hill. Catches and he pulls it back. Greg Phillips in his 10th year, the head coach of the Berkmar Patriots. A 3-ball is no good. Rebound comes off to Tyler Shirley. Danny Stubbs will run it in transition. He spins it up. Caleb Washington pulls a 3. Badly missed. Rebound comes off, and now they'll push it in transition. Reynolds is the starter now. Julius Reynolds coming off the football field. Number 4 gets the start. And not Elijah Wood.
We've got to see a little more movement. Once again, it's about paint touches. It's about passing the ball around the perimeter, getting guys into the paint, making the defense make decisions.
Both of these coaches have been at their programs long enough to be established. But, Mark, give me your uncanted thoughts on head coach George Washington and his time here at Pebblebrook.
I tease George a lot. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. They've made it to the state championship finals. And he's looking to win that big game. But in his time, he's put a lot of kids in college, a lot of them playing Division I basketball. He's changed the culture at Pebblebrook over the years. And he's somebody that, I really appreciate as a coach and as a person. He's a great person, great personality guy. I look forward to nothing but good things for this program. They're going to figure it out. They have the pieces. They just got to figure out how to play with each other.
Washington to beat the horn on the shot. He is fouled and will go to the free throw line. So you want me to break it down for you or for our viewers to accentuate your point?
For both of us.
All right.
All of us.
156-61 in his 8 years. He has been to the Elite 8 6 straight years.
Wow.
Only one losing season, and that was his first season at 13-14. Caleb Washington, free throw, no good. Back-to-back runner-ups. Lost to Wheeler and lost to Westlake. Last year, we lost to Meadow Creek, who played for the championship. Split the free throws. That has to be something there that you realize you've made it to the Elite 8 or better for 6 straight years with 3 Final Fours, 2 runner-up finishes, and 6 straight 20-win seasons. Duke Clayton with the field goal for the Berkmar Patriots. Both teams known for winning and need a win right now. 1-4 Pebblebrook, 1-5 Berkmar. Shirley drives, bothered and blocked. Rebound is recovered out now by Jamal Kleiss. Long three by Stubbs. No, and the board comes off and picked up. He picked up his dribble, did Deloach. No Cam Blunt right now unless he comes off the bench. He's been their leading scorer throughout.
Yeah, Cam is a walking bucket when he puts his mind together.
Up fake that wasn't there for Dara. Dara, short corner, jumper, no good. Rebound comes off, and now Kleiss pushes it to Danny Stubbs. Stubbs can get you some buckets in a minute, too. Drive, layup, no. Washington is fouled, and that foul will be on Dara Olenad, the junior. Olenad is a boardsman now. Will come to work and do some stuff.
Yeah, he's a big-time athlete. They're gonna have to figure out ways of getting him some more touches, in the paint. He's not really that good outside the paint, but in the paint, he's an absolute monster. At an undersized monster at like 6'4".
Kendall Braxton is into the contest off of the Berkmar bench. Berkmar out of Lilburn, Georgia. Pebblebrook out of Mableton, Georgia.
Mighty Cobb County.
Greater Gwinnett County.
Oh, boy, here we go.
I'm just, I'm not going to lean one way or the other because it's all dominant DeKalb.
Oh.
So Danny Stubbs comes back and will work on it. Pull up three, bottom, Danny Stubbs, bang, bang.
Nice shot.
Bang, all three of them. 4-2 out of the gate. A little more than 3 minutes gone by. Slow start. Kleiss with the steal. Jamal Kleiss now running. Kleiss left his feet on the pass. Stubbs is open. Pump fake, escape dribble. Now he's going to attack below the line. Goes up with the left hand. No. Offensive foul on Danny Stubbs. A bang call, but he got hit with it.
That's one of those situations we talk about. He's got to play off 2 feet. Get to that spot. Nice little jump stop and just up for a nice little shot or a little jump hook, a little float or something.
Boom, right there. Had to go right to the hoop. Deloach takes a seat.
Or take that extra dribble and just go around them. That's a lost art. Kids leave their feet entirely too much nowadays.
When you leave your feet to pass, nothing good happens.
Oh,
offensive foul, I believe. Oh, they're going to call it a block.
Oh, wow.
And that'll be called on Jamal Kleiss. And now Duke goes out.
We got a lot of substitutions here.
Coach Greg Phillips now. He didn't want Duke to sit down. He's talking to him right here. On the drive, not there, kicks it across. Braxton now gives it to Deloach. Deloach to Braxton. Braxton pulls a three, air ball, rebound, comes off, and now here comes Pebblebrook racing in transition with Tyler Shirley. Shirley attacks, floats it up, no.
Come on, move. Hey, run something. Stop standing, bro.
I like the point guard, Julius Reynolds, number 4. He just needs to get into the paint. There's a lot of dribbling outside the perimeter and so forth. They need to get into the paint. We'll take that. But I need to see these guys get into the paint, make the defense react, and make some other plays.
A great point that you bring out on Reynolds. He's a returning rotation player from last season, but he's also a football guy and was a big dime dropper for the team last year. Nice move at the hoop and scores in Blake Hadley, his first field goal.
Nice athleticism on that move.
Password protection on the block. Into the contest now, Hillman, Hillmon, the sophomore, into the contest. So, yeah, we are seeing the rotation score kind of flat at the moment, 6-4, 3:20 to go. So now Hillman, the young sophomore, comes across the timeline with the left-hand dribble on the Hoopsgiving logo. Hands it over now to Washington. Stubbs off the elevator action, bottomed out a three. Danny Stubbs and a timeout call, and Greg Phillips upset. It is a 30-second timeout. I apologize. Go ahead.
Now he's going to be coveted by a lot of high major schools because of his ability to score off the bounce and off the catch. And that's a lot of things a lot of young players don't really focus on. A lot of them are focused on really scoring off the dribble and don't really understand that pin down motion that he was able to get reverse pivot into his shot, square his feet in rhythm, knock down a shot. That's the kind of things you're going to have to be able to do in college to be effective, because you're not going to be able to just score off the dribble every single time, off pick and roll and so forth. You got to run those curls, those pin downs, those flares. You've got to learn that kind of footwork to be effective at the next level.
And this timeout, as you see on your screen, brought to you by the Atlanta Hawks. I think I said elevator, but it was really a pin down.
They're similar.
Very similar. Depending on how you want to do it.
Go get it, go get it.
Knocked away, out of bounds. DeLoach will check back in.
For Berkmar's offense to be effective, they've got to get some touches at the high ball, some high free throw line touches and so forth to DeLoach. They've got to get that ball moving inside and out.
A lot of confusion on the Berkmar bench. And by game 7, I think you would have that kind of figured out. Either there's an attention problem or a confusion. I remember earlier this year, the Florida football team had to call timeouts because their wristbands were incorrect from the play calls that were being called in. Yes.
Oh, somebody got fired for that. somebody got fired.
Nine on the shot clock now. 9-4 with 2:47 to go. Looks, and inbounds it, and now here's Reynolds. Reynolds got to go. 5 on the clock. Now he's going to pull a long 3. No good. Rebound come. What was that sound effect? Washington has it, and now over to Hillman. Hillman to Washington.
Not enough movement.
Hillman across the lane. Layup is no good. Rebound to Duke.
That's that extra step we were talking about. He just used the wrong hand.
DeLoach left his feet. Got it back to Duke, who scored. Duke Clayton, his second field goal.
Duke Clayton's got himself in a lot better shape than he was in the spring and summer. He's looking really active. He was having knee problems because he was still growing. But wow, Danny Stubbs. Excuse me, pardon me. I'll take that.
Yeah, I got to get to the hoop and get those two. 11-6. Danny Stubbs with 8 points in his first quarter.
This is the best I've seen Danny Stubbs play so far this year. Really active on the offensive end, being efficient. I like the way he's playing right now.
Last time I saw him, he had 27 points on Meadow Creek in a second-round loss. And, man, it had gotten out of hand, but it was kind of foreshadowing of what you may can see. And Stubbs now spins it to the left, a push. Tyreek Giddens is checked into the contest, number 15 for the Patriots. And now here we go. Dara is coming in, and Duke is going out. So Duke Clayton out and Dara Olenad in.
I need to see Caleb getting a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end. He's got a bigger player on him. Dara's playing more of a 4, stretch 4. Caleb should be a 2-3. He should be able to get around him and get creative on the offensive end. I'm not seeing that right now from him.
Back to the basket, turn. Traveling violation called on Tyler Shirley.
The problem with that play on Tyler Shirley, he should just turned over his baseline shoulder and taken a nice jump shot. Very simple play.
Berkmar operating on the offense. Here's Reynolds. Gets it down low. Up, no. Dara Olenad. And it will be Pebblebrook basketball. The game lacking a little fluidity right now with 4:02 remaining in this first quarter, excuse me. The final game of Holiday Hoopsgiving here on SUV TV. Stubbs attacks. The shot was blocked and then out of bounds. Goes off of Tyler Shirley and Berkmar basketball. Neither team has anything going right now. Reynolds pushes it quickly up. Here's Heel on the attack. Back out to DeLoach, a 3 on the way. It caroms off the back iron. No rebound offensively. Dara goes up and scores. Nice job offensive rebound by Giddens. And Dara Olenad, his first field goal. 11-8. Back this way off the window scoring. Andrew young sophomore, scores off the bench and into the scorebook.
Pebblebrook has some nice young pieces on this team.
This might be a game where in this time next year or in 2 years, it could really be something special if things stayed intact. Foul call, that one on Tyler Shirley. Shirley has came along since his freshman year under the tutelage of George Washington. Blake Hatley now will check in.
This Berkmar team is going to look a lot different in January as well. They're still waiting for Malik Ewan to make his debut. I think he's coming off a little injury. So once he gets in the fold and they get him acclimated, I think this team is going to look a lot different.
But the thing is, when you talked about it and hinted at it in the open, the blending and the chemistry, that'll be something else they'll have to put into the mix, and you'll have to do it real quick before you get in the region tournament. End of the first quarter, and Pebblebrook holds a 13-8 lead over Berkmar. We'll return in just a moment.
Don't forget to pick up a Hoopsgiving t-shirt.
This SUV TV broadcast of Holiday Hoopsgiving is brought to you by Adidas, 7 Group, Atlanta Hawks, Dribble Bridge, and CBA Sports.
Hey, welcome you back inside courtside of Holy Innocents Episcopal School. Joe Hilsman, Mark Edwards, and our SUV TV courtside seats, 13-8. What stands out to you on the stat sheet after that first quarter of play, Mark?
Berkmar 0 for 5 from three-point line. No free throw attempts that quarter. Things got to pick up. They got to get in the paint. They've got to get in the paint. They have no free throw attempts right now.
Pebblebrook opens in possession. Danny Stubbs pulls the jumper, and he is fouled. So Stubbs will go to the free throw line and may have came down funny on an ankle or a foot. Danny Stubbs with 8 in that first quarter. Plus 5 in the rebounding for Pebblebrook. 11-6 advantage after a quarter. Neither team shooting it particularly well. 38% from the field, Pebblebrook. Danny Stubbs at the free throw line. The first one on the way is no good.
Berkmar also 0 for 5 from the three-point line.
Berkmar's lone win of the year came against Brookwood. Their losses, McEachern, Chattahoochee, Grayson, Norcross, and yesterday here at Hoopsgiving, Sandy Creek. Split them for Danny Stubbs. Now, that is not a schedule to laugh at at all, especially for a team that's trying to find its way. No good. Cam Blunt has checked into the basketball game for the Berkmar Patriots, so he had to sit a quarter for unspecified reasons. 17 points in the game against Grayson, 11 in the game, their only victory against Brookwood, and then he had 18 in the loss to Chattahoochee. 3 ball is no good. Rebound comes off the heel. Spins it to the right side. Dara is there. Now here's Hill. Wood spins it to the corner. Short corner jumper by Dara Olenad. No. Rebound comes off. Blunt has not touched it yet. Now there's a drive. Stubbs left the feet, no, out of bounds. Blunt now was grimacing when he was coming back on defense. Now I don't know if there may be some form of an injury, but the KT tape or something on his leg has came off. Duke Clayton checks into the contest. Dara Olenad goes out. And again came out slow, so the ref had to hold play for just a moment. Here's Washington. Washington now gives it over to Kleiss. Back to Washington. Corner three on the way by Washington. No good. Offensive foul on a loose ball for Blake Hadley. The momentum for either team right now offensively is not there, Mark.
It might be the size of their shorts. Their shorts might be a little bit too tight for me.
Yeah, bro. I don't understand this movement.
I mean, we started off with short shorts back in the days.
There was a reason we left them, though.
Yeah, we need to be able to move a little bit.
Yes.
And got baggy, and the game got a little swaggy, and now the shorts are tight and smaller than the law allows. So
yes.
Maybe that's why they're starting so slow. I'm not sure.
I don't understand. I don't understand. I talk to some guys. They talk about freedom of movement. They talk about less material makes them feel lighter. I've heard everything that just doesn't make sense. And I'm short, man. But I want mine coming to my knees. And I don't understand it. And the manufacturer, they are shorter than they were last year.
Yeah.
Free throw, he split them. Hill.
Lighter sneakers, shorter shorts.
Oh, don't get me started on that. Although I have not this year seen a high number of
Well, you're seeing more kids wearing low
tops. That's what I'm saying.
Ever.
But you're seeing more mids this year.
Yeah,
but
more mids.
I'm not wearing. I'm not doing it. Floater, Stubbs, good. Danny Stubbs worked that baseline and got the floater. The theory is they're lighter. I get it. That's that analytics we were talking about.
Don't blame analytics for everything that goes on.
Three, Blunt, no good. Board comes off. Nice outlet pass. And now here's Kleiss. Kleiss pumps and picked up the dribble now, spins it over, and Stubbs will have it. He wanted to pull it. He's got it lined up, too. Put it on the floor. Now Washington. I expect big Caleb Washington. You can see his body. He's got the potential. Oh, rise, fire. No. Board underneath by Shirley. They go to the floor, fight for it, jump ball him and Blount. Timeout is called. A great job by Tyler Shirley. It'll be a 30-second timeout call by Pebblebrook. Good job, head awareness from Shirley.
Caleb Washington is going to have to refine his game a lot more. He's catching the ball. He's waiting too long to get into his movements. Before he catches the ball, he should kind of already know what his options are. Shot fake, jabs, just catch and shoot. Simple movements. That's what his problem is right now. I think he's thinking too much. A lot is expected of him because he's a high major recruit. And I think that has him thinking a little bit too much, and he's not just making the game come to him simply.
16-9 with 5.5 to go in what has been a sluggish first half.
I'm blaming the short shorts. What are you blaming?
I think both of these teams have not found themselves. Really, I do. They
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. That's definitely
finding their skis about themselves.
Danny Stubbs.
24-13. That was Stubbs who cracked that three. Here's Blunt. Cam, anything you can do, I can do. Strip the nets. A three for Cam Blunt.
It's a bucket.
Rebound, Blunt. Here they come running again. They don't have numbers. Over now to Hill. Hill inside. The Blunt stolen. A steal by Kleiss. Up to Washington. Washington attacks and a foul call. Blunt had to stop him, and he'll go to the free throw line, 24-16.
Brings up a shooting situation for the Patriots. Part the Falcons at the line, number 5, Jamal.
So at the free throw line, it will be Caleb Washington. Washington free throw is good. A little bit of life those last couple of possessions thanks to Caleb Washington and Danny Stubbs. They have all the scoring here in the second quarter so far for the Pebblebrook Falcons.
I'm really impressed with Stubbs.
Stubbs is nice. I really like Stubbs. He's going to be able to fill it up. I look for him to be averaging between 20 and 22 a game. 55.8 points per game right now offensively is what Pebblebrook averages versus 61 points per game defensively. Deloach drops it off. Layup Reynolds good. Julius Reynolds, a senior, his first field goal.
Nice pass.
Straight up. Hey.
Stubbs on the attack. Now gives it over. Hillman is back into the contest. Now Hillman. Jumper. Stubbs rattle it right on down the milk crate. Danny Stubbs is feeling pretty good here in this second quarter. He has 8 points in the quarter, 16 in the game. Here's Reynolds on the attack. Left corner, three. Hill, good. He bottomed out a three. Jamari Hill, a 6'3" sophomore, drops a triple. Under 2.5, shovels it to the corner. Thomas Holmes, 6'10" freshman, into the contest, getting some burn. Hadley drives and couldn't do it. Deloach gets the board. Here's Reynolds. Reynolds angles to the middle. Now to Deloach. Deloach catch fire. Good. He was coming across the lane. It looked like Danny Stubbs pushed him in the back a little bit. But Jalen Deloach, his second field goal.
Nice shot. Nice simple shot.
Under 2 minutes, Elijah Wood, the 6'5" sophomore, will be checking in just a moment. Shot clock running down to 3. Stubbs' jumper is no good. They'll push it in transition with Giddings. Giddings up ahead to Hill. Hill layup good, so Berkmar trying to make a run. Jamariah Hill back-to-back field goals, and it's a 3-point game with 80 seconds remaining in the frame. Here's Stubbs. Stubbs now gives it off. Young picked up the dribble, now gives it back out to Holmes. Holmes, pull up, jumper, Holmes, no. Rebound comes off. Coach Washington wanted a timeout. Did not like the decision-making there from Holmes as freshman, Mark.
I agree. Should have brought that back out and got it to the hands of Danny Stubbs. Let him make those decisions.
Deloach catches, lost it, Dara, out of bounds with 50 seconds.
The guard play has picked up for Berkmar. That's why they're back in the game. They've put a couple guys in there that have really helped them pick up the tempo, and they've made some wide-open shots.
Blunt is into the contest now. I would have hit them right there. You saw what Blunt did? He did not really check in. He walked onto the floor. I would have got him. Here's Washington. I remember I was talking about that yesterday, running to the X. Drive. Here comes Blunt. Blunt spins it over. I would have hit them right there. I would have made him go back, and I would have let play start, would not let that sub go.
These referees are tired right about now.
I don't think they caught it. Had they seen it, had he seen it, he's a good official. He would have got him. Long three, ain't to beat the horn, the shot clock horn. It'll be a shot clock violation. And 8 and 4, 10 seconds on the clock remaining in a 3-point ball game. Pebblebrook with the lead.
Problem with that possession, no paint touches. The ball never touched the paint, so the defense never moved.
The innovation of Wilt Chamberlain in the paint. Stubbs, no. Washington, yes, on the offensive rebound and stick back to end the first half. Pebblebrook with a 30-25 advantage over the Berkmar Patriots. You're watching Holiday Hoopsgiving exclusively on SUV TV.
This SUV TV broadcast of Holiday Hoopsgiving is brought to you by Adidas, 7 Group, Atlanta Hawks, Dribble Bridge, and CBA Sports.
We welcome you back inside of Holy Innocents Episcopal School. Joel Hillsman and Mark Edwards in our SUV TV courtside seats as we get ready for the second half. Pebblebrook holds a 30-25 lead on Berkmar. As we take a look, Mark, second half's getting ready to begin. First half stat sheet in your hand, what stands out?
The free throws. Berkmar only has 2 free throws the entire first half. That doesn't make any sense at all, especially with the bigs they have. It doesn't make any sense at all. But I blame that on their lack of paint touches when the ball's moving on the perimeter. They've got to get the ball inside out. You know, they got to get their guards to drive in and kick. They've got to get into the paint to make the defense move. It's a simple ploy, you know, in regards to high school basketball. You've got to get, well, basketball overall, you've got to get paint touches.
And another thing that stands out with me is Pebblebrook +3 on the glass, a 17-14 advantage. And they have 12 points in the paint. Berkmar 14 points in the paint +2 there. And neither team diming it off that well. Berkmar, however, 10 assists on 11 made field goals, but from beyond the arc, they're 2 of 10.
I mean, despite the lack of coaching that Pebblebrook has in George Washington, I think they're doing a really, you know, good game. That's me messing with George. That's my guy.
Looking right at him while he said that.
The lack of coaching Pebblebrook is getting, you know, their kids are playing spectacular despite their coach. Even with his great record, you know, in the past. No, that's my guy. He's one of the better people in basketball that's out here in Georgia. He's a guy that really cares about the kids. He develops these kids. He gives of his time, you know, beyond the clock. So, you know, he's one of the guys that we have to shout out and appreciate.
The second half is underway. Berkmar in the red, Pebblebrook in the white, as you view it right here on SUV TV. Duke Clayton scores to start this second half, and he has now 8 points in the contest. They pulled to within 3. Foul, and that foul will be called on Jariah Hill. Hill picks up his second, the 6'3" sophomore. Pebblebrook has Campbell, Chattahoochee, and East Coweta coming up in the next 3 games. 2 of those 3 are region games, and of course they're in one of the tougher regions, Region 2-7A, along with Wheeler.
Arguably one of the toughest regions in the country.
And indeed, no question about it. Washington 3 is no good, board by Deloach. There'll be some shuffling coming in the state of Georgia with regions, and all of that will be finalized later on in the spring. But enjoy Region 2-7A this year, folks. Pebblebrook, Westlake, Wheeler, East Coweta, Campbell. Sounds like I just named the whole region of playoff teams. Somebody won't make it.
Last year, by my count, that region had 26 Division I players.
Not bad.
That's amazing.
Not
Especially
bad
when the
at all.
average, you know, Division I players per state is 1%. When you get 20 plus in one region of basketball alone in your state, that's a lot of, that's some good basketball going on.
6 teams in that region. Saw Westlake earlier today here at this event, and inside Blake Hadley. First 2 points of the second half for the Pebblebrook Falcons. Pebblebrook defensively allowing 61 points per game. Top side 3, good. Show the range by Duke Clayton.
Duke has, I'm really impressed with him. He's really worked on his game. His body's looking a lot better. He's going to be a force on the AAU circuit this year. He'll be a force in region play and state tournament play this year for Berkmar.
Stubbs holds. Now puts it on the floor. Reynolds is on him, and now he spins it over. Kicks it out. 3 ball by Shirley. Hill of the rim, high rebound, fought for it, offensive rebound. Stubbs long 3, in and out. Deloach rips down the glass. Opportunity to tie or take the lead with the 3 for the Berkmar Patriots. Olenod has it in the corner. Goes baseline, took some contact. Stubbs knocked it out of bounds. Possession will stay right here with Berkmar. Berkmar offensively on the year, 54.1 points per game. Defensively allowing 62.6. They'll have to, it doesn't get any easier. I mentioned they've lost to McEachern, Chattahoochee, Grayson, Norcross, and Sandy Creek. Mark, in their next 3 games, Shiloh, Central Gwinnett, and Madison East out of Wisconsin. And I saw that Central Gwinnett team yesterday. They're not going to be world beaters, but they play 15 guys, and they run and trap you to death, force the tempo a lot. So that's not just a check-the-box victory for Berkmar when they take on the Central Gwinnett Black Knights.
Yeah, they're going to have to get their smaller guards in the game to play those minutes, because really the ball's not moving a lot for them. That's what I'm not happy with. Their ball movement is not that good. Nice job, nice pass.
And Blake Hadley scores. 3 minutes gone by in this third quarter. Deloach. Ten on the 30. Traveling violation called on Julius Reynolds.
You can hear the coach. You can hear Coach Phillips screaming, "What are we running?"
Exactly.
Really important for your point guard to get you in the proper set.
Elijah Wood now into the contest for Berkmar, number 1 in red. On the cut, spins it to the corner. 3 is on the way, good. So Tyler Shirley is now trying to show the range. That is his first field goal of the contest, a 3, but he's been a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end here in this third quarter.
I like the sets they're running right now. They're getting guys to cut through, and they're finding them, and they're swinging the ball around. I like what they're doing. Like we talked about earlier, this is just a young Pebblebrook team. Once they get these guys to figure out what they're going to do, it's going to be impressive.
Alley, and there's the hoop. Caleb Washington on the break.
Nice play. Nice pass from Tyler Shirley.
39-30. 9-point advantage for the Falcons of Pebblebrook, who are in the white. Blunt picked up the dribble. Now Olenad has it, and he puts it on the floor. Here's Wood. Wood on a steal. Good defense from Hadley. Forced to steal by Tyler Shirley. Washington goes in, and Coach Phillips and his bench wanted to travel, but it'll be a foul called on Elijah Wood, and Caleb Washington will be going to the free throw line.
Got to get Caleb Washington to play a little bit more under control. That was a toss-up where there's travel or a foul.
12 points in the contest for Washington.
He's definitely being more aggressive, which we kind of like.
Washington struggling from the line now. 4 of 7. Check it. 5 of 7.
He's got a nice stroke, too, so I'm not sure why he's even missing free throws.
Made both of those.
Duke Clayton with the easy 2.
Duke is having himself a pretty solid night now. He has 13. 9-point advantage for Pebblebrook, but the turnover. Here's Wood. Clayton holds it. Left wing on the drive, not there. Step back Wood, no. Board pulled in by Hadley. Declines the Stubbs. Danny Stubbs with 16 points in the contest. Hadley caught it down low and couldn't get the finish on the hook. Now here comes Heel. Heel to Wood in the corner. Now bring it back. And they'll put it on the floor. A drive goes up. And he will draw the foul and will get 2 shots. Good job by Jamari Hill to draw the contact and then throw the shot up. Hill coming in from Alabama. And also a football player. Free throw good. 7 points in the contest. Free throw good for Hill. .145 remaining in this third quarter. Floater up and in good. Nice drive by Tyler Shirley. Push the lead back out to 9. 3 ball right back this way by Cam Blunt. Blunt now trying to come to life with 8 points.
That's how they should be playing. Let those small guards push, attack, get in the paint, make things happen.
Cam Blunt hit with the foul. Blunt now has 8 points. And Coach Phillips wants an explanation. Kleiss, free throw, good. Free throw, no good. Rolls off by Kleiss. That's why I love the SUV TV courtside seats.
You hear the real deal.
But I like what the ref said. He said, we're not doing anything productive here, and walked away.
Wow.
You didn't hear that?
I thought I heard it. I thought I heard
That's
it.
exactly what he
just
said.
confirmed it.
And honestly,
Wow.
Stubbs with a nice move. I've got to agree because Coach Phillips was talking about what he was working on in practice with his players. What's that got to do with the ref right now?
Exactly.
Coach Phillips upset. 46-37 in the final minute here in this fourth quarter. Excuse me, in this third quarter.
See, this is where the game doesn't work for Berkmar when they're slowing it down. They've got to they just pass the ball outside of perimeter. The defense is not moving.
5 on the 30.
Now you got to take a contested shot.
No good. Rebound. Blunt puts it up
Nice
and
job.
in. Second chance opportunity. Blunt in double figures now with 10. Final 5 seconds. Stubbs gets the screen and goes to work. Peels it back out with 1 second. Stubbs to beat the horn. It is no good. We move to the fourth quarter. Pebblebrook holds a 46-39 lead. You're watching Holiday Hoopsgiving on SUV TV.
This SUV TV broadcast of Holiday Hoopsgiving is brought to you by Adidas, 7 Group, Atlanta Hawks, Dribble Bridge, and CBA Sports.
The fourth and final quarter is underway. Joel Hilsman, Mark Edwards in our HGV-TV courtside seats. Pebblebrook in possession and hold the 46-39 lead. The jumper by Kleiss is no good. Rebound chased down by Blunt, but they lose it out of bounds. Blunt, Reynolds, Deloach, Hill, and Clayton, the 5 on the floor for Berkmar in the red. Washington, Shirley, Kleiss, Stubbs, and Hadley, the 5 on the floor for Pebblebrook.
I'm still stunned with this Berkmar, these stats. They've only shot 2 free throws the entire game. Is that some kind of record? Like, are we serious here?
No, you didn't get the updated one.
Okay.
They're 3 or 4.
My fault, 4 free throws, okay. I'm glad that's not the truth.
Inside shot was bothered and blocked, but Hadley is going to get hit with the foul. 14 assists on 16 made baskets, though, for the Berkmar Patriots. That's a great assist.
It's only one guy with free throws on Berkmar.
Yeah, Jamar Hill, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yep.
You would think Duke Clayton.
Well, he's at the line now. And good, Duke Clayton. Maybe this is the quarter in which they use it to their advantage, although Pebblebrook only has 2 fouls. Both free throws good. 7-point advantage for the Falcons. Stubbs comes across the Holiday Hoopsgiving logo. Hands it off to Washington. Caleb goes down to Hadley. Hadley tried to break the rim, and Deloach comes with the foul.
Okay, Hadley.
Through 3 quarters, Pebblebrook 44% from the field, 43% for Berkmar.
You can say that guy had nothing but ill intentions with
That
that
is
basketball.
very true. Hadley making his first trip to the free throw line today. It is good. He has 9 points. 49-41. And now Jamari Hill will check out of the contest for Berkmar. Hadley at the free throw line makes them both. He's in double figures now with 10. And the lead is 9 again for Pebblebrook. Pebblebrook showing a little 1-2-2. Pass is tipped on a steal. Stubbs to Washington. Washington flies in. Blew the layup. No. Blunt gets the board. And pushing it back this way, he's got Deloach running with him. Blunt to the hoop. He lost it on the way up. Deloach got the rebound. He fights for it again. Now put it back up. Blunt scores. And a quick timeout. Cam Blunt scores. And it is a timeout call. It is a full timeout by Berkmar. And this timeout brought to you by the Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta Hawk fans, purchase your tickets today with an exclusive SGV TV offer for your Atlanta Hawks tickets today. Go to the SGVTV.com/Hawks to take advantage of the special discounted price for basic or premium tickets. Atlanta Hawks. 6:29 to go. What do you think this timeout is about from Coach Phillips after getting the layup and calling the timeout after a make?
Defense. They've got to utilize those opportunities, get out on the break more. They've got to push the ball more. When they play with a high tempo, that's when they're at their best. When they slow it down and just stand around, they get nothing. No, they've got to play. They got to force the tempo. They got to defend, make smarter plays.
7-point game still within striking distance in the final game. The 2019 Holiday Hoopsgiving. Ball knocked out of bounds. Shot clock stopped at 27.
Back up, JJ. You can't walk.
They fight for it, go to the floor, jump ball, possession arrow is to Berkmar. So Berkmar with an opportunity now. They got the defensive stop out of the timeout. Can they get a hoop? And that'll really make it a positive timeout.
Yeah.
Want to send another shout out to all the sponsors, Adidas, the Center Group.
Now, one of the things people don't understand about defense is if you have bad team defense, it's hard to have a great individual defender on your team. It's all a team concept, you know. You're not going to have one great defensive player and the team sucks on defense. No. These guys have to really fight for each other. If my man gets beat, I got his back. I'm there.
Corner three is good. Stripped the nets for Elijah Wood, his first field goal.
The fact that the ball got to the high post, they touched the paint, they kicked it out, that's what that play was all about.
And got the open corner three. Foul call by Berkmar. 2 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter, 5:58 remaining. Stubbs has it on the catch, picked up defensively by Reynolds. In a 4-point basketball game, here's Danny Stubbs, worked on defensively by Elijah Wood. They go to Shirley in the corner. He traveled with the basketball.
That's one of those situations where you got to let the ball move, got to swing that ball. Fourth quarter, you need a lot of movement. Don't take it upon yourself to make individual decisions. Move the ball, move the ball.
Palming violation called on Dara Olenad, the 6'4 junior.
Yeah, he's too far away from the basket for him to be effective. You put him in a bad spot by having that far away from the basket.
Yeah, he's known to be able to do your dirty work down low, get your boards.
Yeah, you got him crossing over?
Get your 50-50 balls, things of that nature. Here's Stubbs across the timeline. He gives it to Hatley. Hatley now to Kleiss, back to Stubbs. Stubbs to Washington. They cut that off, did Blunt. Here comes the screen, goes around it, picked up the dribble. He traveled with the basketball. So a lot of walking going on, and I guess a lot of people are ready to walk out of the building. Another turnover. 5:08 to go.
Caleb doesn't look too comfortable when he's about to, deal with contact. Kind of winces up a little bit. He's got to use his skill a little bit more. Shot fakes. He's got to make the game simple.
Ball knocked away. Good effort going up high was Jamal Kleiss to knock it out of bounds. It'll stay in possession of the Berkmar Patriots.
We caused quite a ruckus on a national level yesterday with your comments and my comments. Mainly mine, I guess.
Thank
about
you.
The rivalry, with the West Coast and New York City and so forth. Myself, I try to move the needle in regards to basketball culture, and I think it's important that we have these conversations. We need these kids to compete as much as possible, travel, see different places, meet and deal with new cultures, new people. When they get to college, that's what they're going to deal with. They're going to deal with elite players. So when I say no duck season, it's not, oh, this kid is scared. No, let's put this kid in an environment where he can fail. It's okay for a child to fail, especially when we're there to pick him up, dust him off, and say, go ahead, do it again, try it again. Let's not be afraid of ourselves. Let's play this game, have some fun, and help give these kids a great experience. That's what this is all about. That's what this game is all about.
I agree. I'm a big basketball guy, and I just feel like, long three, you can beat anybody in your backyard, but when you want to go out and play, what's beating anybody in your backyard? If that's all you seek to accomplish, then you're limiting yourself. Yeah. You want to be able to play anybody, anywhere, anytime. That's my theory, and I know that there are finances and rules and all of those type of things, but at the end of the day, would you rather have them traveling to play basketball, or would you rather be doing something that would be putting their life in jeopardy one way or other?
I agree. That's what basketball is. It's the great equalizer, with life. It helps these kids see just different things, A lot of kids in New York City haven't been outside of their borough. A lot of kids in Brooklyn haven't been outside of Brooklyn. Growing up in New York City, Right now, I work with one of my clients who plays for the New York Knicks. When I go out there, I'm in Westchester, and guys like, you know Westchester? I said no, because when I was coming up, we weren't allowed to go to Westchester, you know. So these kids being able to travel around the country during the high school season is an amazing thing. It's an amazing opportunity for these kids. I love it. I support it, and I want the other states and cities to support it as well.
Cam Blunt has put Berkmar in front, 51-50. It is an 8-0 run. 3 for Shirley, no good. Rebound, Kleiss. The Washington jumper rolled off. Rebound, battle for Hadley up and in. And scores Blake Hadley. So that ends the 8-0 run, and now a timeout call by the Pebblebrook Falcons and head coach George Washington. It is a 30-second timeout. Yeah, and the only thing with my comments yesterday, St. Francis, they lost today to Wheeler, but they're still a fine team. Woodward Academy right now has a special year. So, yes, and they just went 4-0 in Illinois. But year after year, the consistency that the private schools have in Georgia don't match the private schools in a Chicago, in a D.C., in a California. But that's no knock on Woodward, because I really think Woodward is a special team. I think St. Francis is a special team here. They failed to Wheeler today, who Wheeler is Wheeler, and we'll find that out. But I just, right now I'm waiting on an update to Tri-Cities, who was playing in a championship game in Arkansas. Now just think about that. Tri-Cities going to Arkansas for East Point, Georgia.
And Arkansas is a basketball state. That is a basketball state, so that's big.
But how many of those young men from East Point ever thought they would see Arkansas?
Arkansas, yeah.
And you're like, well, ain't nothing in Arkansas. Well,
Yes,
Walmart's in Arkansas.
Bentonville, Arkansas is one of the best places I've ever visited in my life.
Trying to tell you. Scottie Pippen is from?
He's from Arkansas. I don't know what part.
Hamburg, Arkansas.
Nuggets.
Inside, count it, and the foul.
That's where Dara is most effective. Close to that basket. He's a space eater. He gets every 50-50 ball possible, and he's going to finish under that basket, even though they didn't count the basket.
They did not?
No. That's weird.
Oh, wow. Caught it on the floor. Okay, let me correct the scorebook. Inside, Hadley gets the rebound. Woodward Academy defeated Fort Smith Northside, Arkansas. Fort Smith Northside, Arkansas is a top 3 team in the state in Arkansas. Pace Academy next week, they go to Chicago. Now, I don't think that trip's going to go too good for them. They get Bloom, who's the #1 team in Chicagoland area now. Bloom is no joke, my brother. And right behind them comes Morgan Park and Whitney Young and Simeon and Stevenson.
I'm not afraid of Chicago.
Chicago
has great players in waves.
No one said you were scared of them.
I'm saying for the state of Georgia. I'm not afraid for those guys to go out there and play.
Hey, look, if the Illinois rules were a little different, Morgan Park would be down here. I guarantee you. Nick Irvin will take that squad somewhere. Don't say he won't.
You got to love the Irvin family.
Indeed. Shot up, no. Tip follow, good. Put in by Tyler Shirley, back-to-back field goals. He has 9 in the contest.
This game could go either way right now.
2 minutes.
About runs. Paint touch. Oh.
It's a 6-0 run for Pebblebrook since the 8-0 run from Berkmar. And another steal. Coming away with it, Shirley. Tyler Shirley has turned it on in the last 2.5 minutes. Stubbs crosses the timeline. Stubbs has been quiet in the contest in the second half. Looked like he walked. Washington swings on the rim with the dunk.
Nice play.
15 in the game for Washington, 18 for Stubbs. 12 for Blake Hadley, and 10 of his 12 have came in this second half. 85 seconds to go, 7-point ball game.
Caleb Washington is an intriguing athlete. The fact that he can be explosive off one leg or two, that's a rarity in basketball.
Blunt, a 3, no. Rebound, hit the floor. Dara got it back.
50-50.
Turn, put it up. No, that's what he's known for, the 50-50 balls. Blunt, who did not play in that first quarter, we don't know exactly why. He has 14 in the contest. Stubbs Worked on defensively by Reynolds.
They've got to take some chances right now, get some fouls, give some fouls up.
Under a minute.
Can't let them get that close to the basket.
And there's the foul right there. It'll be 2 shots coming up. Their next foul, they would have been in the bonus. So it would have been the 1-and-1 the remainder of the way. And Coach Phillips is sitting here showing the move that it was a travel, in his opinion. He has not had much success with the officiating crew this evening. And Mr. Ref said he watched the demonstration and told him what he forgot. Free throw was good by Danny Stubbs.
I can appreciate the conversation from the referee. You get a lot of times referees don't want to give you that conversation. I can appreciate that.
Well, my thing is, if you don't give me the conversation, at some point I'm going to make you give me a conversation.
At your detriment, possibly.
Yeah, it'll be a technical. You're going to talk to me one way or another. 3 ball, bottom from Hill, Wood. Elijah Wood, a 3, cracked that 3, 6-point game. And what I mean by that is if I'm talking to you and you're just not talking to me, you're going to give me a text. And then at that point, you got to listen to me.
Yeah.
Although the tech, you had to have a seatbelt on in high school, which I don't agree with that.
You notice how Pebblebrook was all in the paint, and they swung the ball around, got a wide open shot. That's because they've been going inside, getting paint touches, getting 50-50 balls. They've been attacking the glass, so Pebblebrook has to play close to the edge.
Entering the quarter, they had 22 points in the paint and had 11 assists on 17 made field goals entering the quarter. .43 seconds and a 6-point ball game.
How much does Caleb Watson have so far?
I have Washington for 16, 16 points.
That's a solid about it.
Foul given, Tyler Shirley. Shirley now has 9. All of them have came here in the second half. At a 6-0 run for Pebblebrook after Berkmar took the lead on an 8-0 run, and they took the lead 51-50. And that may have proved to be a little bit of the difference. It is the 1-and-1.
With Tyler Shirley, he needs to kind of cut back on trying to do too many things. You know, I think he was a little bit too active in the first half offensively. You've got to be a catch and shoot, a simple layup. Do the simple things in the game, and you'll be very efficient. Because in college, when you get to college, you have to find your role. You're not going to come in and get 20 shots in college. No way. So you got to find that role that you do well.
Foul given again. Berkmar will turn their attention toward Shiloh, Central Gwinnett, and Madison East in their next 3 games. The schedule does not get any easier for the Berkmar Patriots. The Round Ball Classic in Charleston, South Carolina. Another date with region opponent Norcross, and then they have 2 with Meadow Creek, although Meadow Creek is somewhat different from how you may know them. And then they have the Students Against Violence Classic in Pittsburgh coming up, where they'll take on a team from West Virginia and a team from Maryland. They'll be taking on Tees Valley Christian Prep out of West Virginia, and then they'll be taking on Bishop Walsh in Maryland. So there you go, Georgia going to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, pushing it back, and a foul by Julius Reynolds. So hopefully Berkmar can find some cohesion as they hit the trail.
Yeah, they hit that road. They got to have some cohesion.
South Carolina also a hotbed. Myrtle Beach hosting multiple girls and boys tournaments. Charleston hosting multiple boys and girls tournaments. And, of course, in Columbia, you've got the Bojangles Bash and the Chick-fil-A Bash.
I am definitely appreciative of, you know, a lot of the high school programs in Georgia that allow these kids to get out and go and play around the country. I'm appreciative of that because you don't see that in a lot of states.
Yeah, you don't. A lot of states have certain ramifications, and, you know, you'll see private schools. Like a lot of people, you'll hear about North Carolina schools, but I'm going to tell you a little secret about North Carolina. They can only play bordering South Carolina. The ball game is over. The public league, the NCISA, the independent private league, they can go everywhere. The ball game is over. They flipped the scoreboard off, but it's a victory for the Pebblebrook Falcons, 64-54 over the Berkmar Patriots. And the 2019 Holiday Hoopsgiving, the 6th edition, is in the books. Final thoughts on this contest, Mark Edwards?
Two teams that are trying to find themselves. I think it's going to take a couple weeks. You know, they're both going on the road. You know, they're going to spend some time away. You know, holidays are going to happen. By January, I think both these teams will be totally different. But they're young teams, and, you know, I mean, I expect a lot of good things from them.
20 points for Danny Stubbs, 16 for Caleb Washington, as they led Pebblebrook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scorers for Berkmar, and let's see, that's going to be 15 points for Duke Clayton. Cam Blunt, he wound up with 14 and to lead the Berkmar Patriots. Final score again, Pebblebrook 64, Berkmar 54. That concludes the 2019 Holiday Hoopsgiving. For our entire crew, Court 1, Court 2, and our production crew, for Mark Edwards, I'm Joel Hilsman. We'll see you next time right here, the SUVTV.com.